Today we will wrap up the final 3 of the 21 habits that you should try your very best to instill into your everyday life. These habits that we have covered over the last 4 sessions don't just help you to stay leveled up. It is the protection on your life. It's the discipline and the morals and the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual strength every man must possess. It is the protection on your life path. It's the discipline and the morals and the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual strength every man must possess. Men must possess this because in the hierarchy of almost every single living species on this earth have placed the male in its species as the provider, the hunter, the protector. Through the centuries and centuries of evolution, man should have inherited more strengths such as nurturing, a trait females instinctively possess. Men should have evolved to be more intuitive, but instead, over the course of evolution, men not only weren't able to fully encapsulate nurturing or intuitive habits, but rather drifted further away from the traits carried over this far, which is of being a provider, a hunter, an explorer. It is important for each and every man to take time and start recognizing himself and pushing himself to move back as close as possible to the traits that define a man's strengths. The first 18 habits we spoke about were tough, okay? And the final 3 are the ultimate in complete mind control. Do these 21, especially the last 3, and see how your feet get planted firmly into the ground. You will know your position, you will know your place, you will know your purpose. This is serious stuff. Remember that self-inflicted struggles for the sake of achieving something is the kind of stuff that never leaves you. So you must do this for yourself. So to continue where we left off in the session, number 19, solve a problem every day. Serve others, serve your family, serve your colleagues, serve your neighbors and your community. There is so much power in that. To begin with, it keeps you grounded. It keeps you humble and you build a set of strong concern values. Be the guy who has his eye on the oldest person trying to cross the street. Be the guy who doesn't stay quiet if another is being oppressed. Be the guy who holds the door open for the person behind you, female or male, young or old. You open that door and hold it for them. In return, they pay you with a smile. Their smile releases serotonin in your brain. Your brain feels instant gratification caused by the serotonin. Your day, or at least your next 10 minutes, will go pleasant, surely. So keep moving throughout the day being observant, ready to serve. These little serotonin secretions is your reward. It's your pay for just being observant and being human. You must be having some sort of talent, even if that talent is sleeping or browsing. There are people out there who don't know or even can't do that. You can serve these people. Walk around your block and serve a neighbor loading bags out of the car. Be the guy who just wants to make life a bit easier and a bit happier for everyone you meet. It's possible. It is very possible. Mere words of kindness, acts of kindness, words of compassion and consoling. You would be surprised that that's all that most people need to find that energy to take that next step, or maybe even that next breath. You've been there, so I need not say this to you, but don't underestimate the violence of pain. It will leave nothing in its path. It destroys everything. If someone can depend on you, just for words, to come out of where they are at the moment, you may have just saved someone's life. It does not matter what people think of you. Being intrusive or nosy when you feel someone is suffering or struggling, it does not matter who they are or who you are at that moment. Step up and be concerned. Hover if you have to, and then leave words of affirmation and encouragement. Everyone that crosses your path from this day forward must think about you twice at least after they walk away. A friend or a stranger, both. And the best way you can do that is by putting a smile on people's faces. And all you have to do is smile, or hold the door, or compliment someone. And if required, go a bit further. Your brain has exploded in your head and your heart has exploded inside of your chest so many times that the inside of your skull and your rib cage is probably splattered red. That's how far adversity took you. I know that's what you went through. Don't allow anyone else to go through it. If a few kind words can save someone's life, then you need to be there. Sometimes we must admit where our strengths come from. You may be one of those people that adversity subconsciously excites. You may never figure out why, but if you've lived a troublesome past, this is one of the traits that stick with you. And if that's the case, then find fuel for your adversity by reaching out and serving and protecting others who have adversity but cannot handle it. And you know how to. Adversity can push you to push yourself harder when people around you have no faith in you. For many, that's where they find strength, in the defiance of complexity and hostile environments. What can be more hostile than people judging you and waiting and wishing for you to fail? Use adversity to challenge yourself and prove others against their judgments. So let others' adversity become part of your day. Understanding the simple challenges of others make you more aware. It encourages you not to be in that situation. Okay? Number 20. Required release. So this one is a technique not used by anyone I know except for a very few small group of elite steel-headed warriors. Okay? This is only for you if you are single and not in a relationship or not married. If you are practicing semen retention or are refraining from casual sex or sex completely, first of all, let me tell you this, that I am proud of you. And keep holding on until the person with the right energy comes along to fuel and add sparks to your energy. So just keep waiting for that moment, okay? In the meantime, it's hard, I understand, but you cannot break the commitment so far. And the harder it gets to abstain, the stronger you're getting, actually. Know this. You can do all the other things that mentors are asking you to do to abstain completely, even from helping yourself or subconsciously ejaculating in your sleep. In order to achieve that level of self-mastery and discipline on sexual urges, you must never surrender to your urge. If that thought hits you, just be patient for a moment. Breathe, calm down, distract your view. Look at something else. Look at something better, okay? Look at something different. Wait for a moment and that urge will pass. Don't swipe your hands over your pants to check girth and length levels. Just keep doing what you're doing and the urge will pass. Keep your gaze restricted. Completely eliminate looking at cleavage or camel toes and spray painted buttocks, okay? If that's how they feel they want to dress, that's their choice. Your choice is to ascend your gaze, chin up, head up, almost like you're looking at something higher than you 50 meters away. Head up, and view should be at the level of your height, okay? Don't oogle people. Keep your ears clean from filth and dirty conversation, which means definitely keep your mouth clean. Keep your hands to yourself. Most people don't like that rub on the back or a prolonged handshake or touching someone's hand while exchanging stuff. Keep your hands and your eyes and your ears away from the opposite sex, okay? And since we are human and the urge sometimes will get to a point where it's not humanly possible to distract yourself anymore. At this point, you have the permission to go ahead and help yourself. You help yourself. No help from anyone else, or no toys, or no machines, or no porn. Just you, okay? However, there is a condition to this before breaking the cycle of cleanliness. You must understand you are now embarking on getting yourself dirty again. So there is a condition. You must help yourself in front of the mirror. Eyes open and no expressions. Eyes open till the very end. That's your only way to relieve yourself until mental grit is completely installed and hardwired into your system. This is your only way to relieve yourself until you find the right person with the right energy who is committing to you and you are committing to them and your values align completely. Don't be afraid, okay? Even if it takes a year or 2 years or 3 years, don't be afraid. Friends, let me tell you this. The human mind is very powerful. You can go 3 years and 4 years and 5 years without sex and you will be fine. Self-mastery by abstaining from sex is the highest level of mental grit you can achieve. When you practice moral copulation, it brings the best out of you. It elevates you to levels only reserved for the higher messengers, the moral warriors that are sent here. I'd like to give you a little example of how Mike Tyson, one of the most ferocious boxing monsters the world has ever seen, borderline cannibal probably, and look at him now. You cannot imagine it's the same person. His humbleness and humility and reason and purpose for life now is so beautiful. This gentle giant has had to go through being that reckless killing machine to a person so strong inside that he would not even pluck a flower in order for him not to inflict pain. Mike Tyson has publicly admitted that one of his strengths in realizing and waking up from the notorious person that he was that he kept himself away from sex for 7 years as he tried discovering himself. Think about that every time you receive an urge. Do you see the struggles now you have to go through to become great? And that's why not everyone can get great. You must have thick skin, seal your heart, focus on what you want to be, and just keep doing it. Sunshine, snow, or rain, your desires of being a better person should never stop, not on any single given day. Okay? And finally, step number 21. I have left my personal favorite for the end, the one that has changed many, many lives. The simplicity in it is what makes it so complex. And once you know how to completely approach life like this, you will never fail at anything you put your mind and heart to. You will never fail. If you live a life in which you feel no requirement to feel validated, accepted, affirmed, receive likes or views on social media and all of that, be it from your friends or family or anyone else, if you don't have a big desire for constantly being encouraged and motivated and thanked, then you, my friend, are spot on. If you cannot remove the requirement for validation, the requirement for approval and encouragement and appreciation or motivation, then you are failing. The purpose to achieve self-mastery is for yourself, and in that the condition for yourself is the most important keyword. Leveling up and being a better person every day is your duty. Requiring acknowledgement for that is a desire. So get rid of desires, brothers. We sometimes must realize that if we cannot do something in life, it usually stems from two requirements or qualities. The first one is purpose, and the second one is desire. And let me tell you, one is good and one is bad. And you can many times be stuck in one place over one issue and have to choose between purpose and desire, and the crux is that they are so close in nature, sometimes it's unidentifiable. So be aware of similar situations. For example, when you push yourself to being the best in every way you can be in any group to benefit that group, that's your purpose. When you seek being the center of attention for validation, that's your desire. You must know the difference very clearly and get rid of non-serving desires. Okay? Keep following the steps that brought you here. and increase the intensity of the pressure ever so periodically. You cannot remain at the same spot all your life, or you will start rolling back downhill. Mental grit is a component inside of you that will allow you to achieve any level of success you desire. Because mental grit does not look at motivation or discipline or weather or anything. For mental grit, the only factoring condition is it's got to get done. But for this, mental grit needs constant stimulation and constant pushing of limits. Keep leveling up from your routine where you completely understand now that your health and body require a gym and a reasonably balanced diet. Your mind needs sounds and sights of nature. Your thoughts need positive platforms to feed from, positive people, positive words, and positive influences. Your heart needs for care and compassion. Your desires need to be limited. Your pockets need to be heavy. Your smile needs to be contagious. This was the final of the 4-part session on Next Level Talk. These 21 habits that need to be instilled don't all have to be done at the same time, and not all have to be done. Pick what works for you. Choose to accomplish at least half. Keep your thoughts clean and your vision focused and your goals determined. Okay? Be safe, be positive, and keep picking the wise decisions as you move forward in life.